Pecha Kucha 76, Robocop and Noir pages. So after a couple of weeks of dilly-dallying, I think this week was pretty damn good. Got a lot of stuff done, and some of it you won't see because it's more like meeting people. And you know, me and Mystic Moore did like a almost two podcasts in one. But what you will see is my Noir pages. I've got the whole thing on Flickr. I'm showing them two at a time because there's other stuff I want to show this week, and it's usually I do pages like this individually as I draw them, and really comic books layout you should think of it like how is it going to look in print. So it's actually quite interesting because I'm also for the first time seeing how these things would look if I decided to just print them. Just A3, whack it in InDesign, print that shit out. So it's a nine page Hallapalooza. I'm really trying to push the plot to a point where it's easy for Adam and James to start wrapping this thing up, because we're making up too much as we go along. We're trying to create characters, create the plot, create the atmosphere, do good artwork that's experimental, and solve a murder mystery. All of these things all at once, blind, with no real sense of art direction or anything like this. So overall, I'm happy with the collective strength of the 9 pages, and because it's 9, here's the odd one out. The great thing about using black and white is that and especially when you're doing a noir thing, is you can just dump loads of black in your image, kind of make it look better and not worry too much about being messy. So I think it suits me quite well. And before I publish it, same thing with this Smiley show. I'm just going to check for typos, because this Smiley show, I almost dropped a joke, and I'm just like, okay, hold everything. Let's just double, triple check all of this. But yeah, I'm happy with this. Got my 9 pages done. Got my first Smiley show on the level done. I was just messing around drawing the turtles later in the week as well. The blending tool has just been applied here on top of the chalk brush with this picture of whichever turtle this is that is your favorite, the shaded one. And this is the kind of thing you get when you just use it to smudge. So the whole Robocop thing I'll talk about in a minute comes from experimenting with this. I must have seen something on Google that made me think, what exactly does a ninja turtle look like? So I drew one. Not quite what you're used to. Maybe a good thing no one's caught on. It's maybe too cool. I came across this, what looks like a retelling of Bane's first encounter with Batman, and I found a few pages on a few blogs. And in my podcast, the latest one with the Mystic Moore, I kind of talk about how you can't tell a good Batman story because it gets rewritten, because the continuity keeps getting rewritten, and this is a great example of it. Bane's dialogue in the previous panel, where he's like, "I'm not a joke, I'm not a riddle, I'm not a bird, I'm not here to make you laugh, I'm not here to entertain you, I am Bane," right? It's brilliant, but that only stands until it doesn't. And more's the pity, because I think both the artwork and the dialogue is brilliant. Wherever it comes from, I think it's a new comic. Right, so this Robocop thing, I've got a reference image. You'll see it in a few pages. I really wanted to just kind of skip doing the line work to go straight into painting, and you'll you'll see it backfires. But it's also the sense of scale. Painting is really about how much detail you get in terms of matching the value that you expect to see in a real picture. So I've just dropped some basic stuff on here, and it's like, this isn't working because I've come in with the wrong psychology. It's better for me to work big on a small area and make sure that I nailed it. So I've just thought, screw it, we're going to do the head. I've just dumped it in the corner because I don't really care. But as I'm drawing it, I'm like drawing another couple of thumbnails, thinking, wait, is this what I think Robocop looks like? Looking at this picture, have I had the wrong idea in my head about where the visor hole is and stuff like that? So now I've used the blending tool to smudge out all the chalk lines to give me kind of values as almost like an underpainting, and this forms the kind of the base that I can manipulate to try and get my details to be more accurate. So yeah, here's the reference image. I started from the chin up because it's just mostly black. So I've just come in with probably just black spray paint airbrush, and I've used the white airbrush to do the little highlights. I've paid attention to the big white area on Robocop's the right side of his face, and now I've done the top half of his visor. There's a lot of reflective lighting going on. It's still wrong even to this day. I'd have to go back and change it, but you can do quite a lot with the airbrush and the blending tool in Manga Studio. It's quite good. I kind of cheated to color it, so I've kind of used layer tricks, like applying layers in multiply and overlay mode, which means I don't have to color in color, which is what I did the first time, which was why I just thought, screw it, I'm doing this wrong. So this is probably where it is now, and I wanted to stop for about 15 minutes and then kept noticing like the shading was wrong under the visor, and the lips weren't quite right, and then I added the stubble. I'm quite happy with what I got, considering it probably didn't take that long to get there, maybe an hour and a half of kind of not really being sure it was going to work out in the end, and I think it's a pretty good likeness. In some ways, it's better than the source image because of the color brightness and stuff like that. Right. So what am I going to do next week? I've got my first smiley show of my set that kind of comes before I put that Patreon up. So I've just got to get the rest of the set, and then I've got to make sure that I'm comfortable doing a smiley show a week going forward. So the stuff I've shown, the Noir stuff, just going to check it for typos. Then I'm going to put it up, show Adam and James. And I read Berserk in January. There is literally, the website is called readberserk.com. There's apparently one just like that for One Piece called readonepiece.com. So I think I'm going to look into that, and you can read Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken, on Manga Fox. I should do that as well. Massive fan of the anime. So, and that's just something I need to do. And reference, because it would be great to improve my line work game. So that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 76, and I'll see you next time.